moving towards the next question, Svetlana ji, that you said, as usual, you also suffers in your initial days during your when childbirth, and lot of suffering happens. You said what I understood, and after that, you walk this path. Now I just want to little bit know how that change your life after this, because you were also suffer like a common people, like anybody,
Mm-hmm.
me, anybody else also suffering. When you started Krishna conscious follow, started following and walking this path, what kind of some changes you feel in your life? Though you have touched little bit around that, but still, if you want
Mm-hmm.
to highlight some key things, how it changed.
Yes, I could say like everything has changed.
Huh?
Because before I said before that my life was completely empty. When you're feeling like, just suppose I will give you one example. Just suppose you just sit in some suddenly coming train, and you just sit in this train,
Huh?
and you don't know where you're going.
Huh?
You just start to ask the people where this train is going, and nobody is saying you where this train is going. And
Huh?
you started to feel, like started to worry where I'm going.
Yeah, yeah.
This is our life, actually. We just see that where I'm going.
Huh?
What is the
Huh?
goal of my life?
Huh?
And when I got the goal of my life, which I was looking for so long time, and I found it finally. That how to say it? It's became easy to say it. Can you repeat again your question?
Yeah.
Just sometimes when I just need
Question
some
was
example.
like, after
Oh,
walking
what is
the Krishna
changes? Yes,
conscious
yes,
path, what changes? Like example, in your earlier you
yes.
said you were suffering lot of problems, lot of challenges, which
Mm-hmm.
everybody do actually. This life is ups and down. You are in the society, you are in the family, everything. So you suffer
Yes, yes.
something, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when you start walking this path, might be you got some motivation, you got something inner
Yes, yes.
energy, which leads you to do perform better. So that I want to understand how
Mm-hmm.
you the changes happen in your life, in your practical
Mm-hmm.
experience life.
Yes, the main thing is, yes, which I started to explain, like when you have a goal of your life,
Yeah.
you're already becoming confident. And whenever you do in your material life also, you will feel confident
uh,
because you know where you're moving in this train.
uh,
And next thing is very important. I became happy because before I was suffering a lot. I was always, in depression.
uh,
And my last point was a very, how to say, very hard,
uh,
because even I started to think about suicide because I wanted to finish my life. Yes, no meaning, just what to do. Nobody and nothing give me happiness for a very short time. Then again, I'm suffering. And as my hard story of my past marriage, this also, like very long suffering, and in that case, uh, I could not find the meaning of even family.
uh,
That I had a husband, I had a child, but no relationship, no closeness, nothing is which is connected us,
uh,
no Krishna in center. But
uh,
when I got the Krishna, it's immediately you become happy. Doesn't matter which your financial condition, which your health condition, which your any your position in this world. It doesn't matter. That if the peace is coming to your life, this is just the changes. What can be more changes if you're becoming happy?
uh,
And of course, many things has changed. I became vegetarian actually before Krishna consciousness.
mm,
But in Krishna consciousness, I found a lot of recipes, a lot of different tasty food,
mm,
because devotees just actually before this 1 year before Krishna consciousness, I tried to find what to cook
mm,
because my food was very simple. I
mm,
wanted something tasty,
mm,
and devotee taught me how to cook very nicely and very
mm,
and tasty.
mm.
And of course, when I started to offer it to
Yeah, I think little bit audio went in between, but anyway, now it is okay. Okay. Yeah.
yes, and so when I started to offer the food to Krishna, I realized what is the difference between just ordinary food and between prasadam. Because prasadam is making your consciousness higher. And when you touch this energy every day, you're starting to feel, oh, this was not my thoughts. This is just society was pressuring me by these thoughts. It was not my choice. You start, your consciousness is growing and your consciousness cleaning by this. And you slowly you realize, oh, this was my desire, not what other people said me. And these things I didn't want, these things, and slowly I started to reject everything what was not my choice. And somebody also do choice not by their desire. They just listen society, they listen parents, somebody else around. And what is changes, like I found real friends in my life. Before, every friend was like something like, if people need something in you, they with you. If they no need, that's friendship is finished. And it was always in my life, I wanted real friends. And here's I found. And this friendship is really unconditional. I love it.
Absolutely.
It's real support for me. In any case, we always support each other. We always... Sorry, I got the call.
I understand that calls coming and then audio will go. Yeah.
Yes. And what did I talk?
Yeah. So you were talking, So you are talking about that how basically is difficult at that time, and how it was benefited to you cooking food, and the real friend you find in this.
Yes.
Without
Yes, and if you have a real friend in your life, it's really your life becoming completely different.
Absolutely.
Because in any case, you have a support in your life. Because everyone faces with difficulties in this life, and in spiritual life, we have some period when we have some difficulties, and without challenge in life, not possible to grow. Even in spiritual life, we have it. But if you know how to manage this, if you have a connection with God, if you have a good friends, it's like a protection from all the sides you have. This is big changes in my life. And this I said about my bad habits, and my circle is changed, my food is changed, my habits changed. I started to pray, and I started to feel energy in life. And I also main things what happened. I because I started to serve, I started to meet with devotees. Even now I don't have a time for something which is I'm not interested in. People saying like, oh, what you do in your free time? I said, I don't have free time. Always busy. It's like when you have a meaning, your life is fulfilled.
Great. So coming to that, you said in one point of time in your life you feel like to do suicide. So it's a worst situation in anyone's life when he think about committing suicide. So what was that situation? How it come basically?
It was because I suffered it a lot in my past relationship with ex-husband.
Oh, okay.
And yes, he was like an abuser. And when someone is abusing you for a long time, you cannot see how you can finish this situation. And what is just one line is coming to your mind. Oh, I want to finish my life, then it will finish. Means you don't have any solution of your problem. And of course, if you don't have a relationship with God, you even cannot pray, you cannot express your all emotions. And this, most of people, what they have, that a lot of emotions suppress it inside. And they don't have a close friend, don't have anybody close to whom they can trust, they cannot pray. And this is like, which is a long time suppress it inside you. That is just moving you to do stupid things. Some of people, they just drink alcohol. In that time, I already did not drink alcohol. In that time, I already stopped it. In that time, but still, I could not find the solution how to stop this mental pressure. And it was a really very hard emotional condition. I was at that time I could not to tell this to my parents because I didn't want to make them sad. Yes. And in that time, I did not have close friends in my life which I could share. And it's like you're just alone in this world, and you're not able to share with somebody, and nobody understands you. And most of close the person with whom you're in a one house, in one bed, that person is abusing you. And in that time, I just, it's just quickly coming. Now I can understand how the people finish their life. Actually, most of time people don't plan it. It just suddenly coming. And in that time, if you are not able to control yourself, if somebody is not stopping you, actually, I already wanted to jump from 9th floor. Just my ex-husband just did not give me to do this. This is just was suddenly few seconds, and I would be already outside of, and of course it's just a break. It's finish of life. That I know this energy, how people suffer, and it's this is just they want to they don't want to finish life. Actually, they want to finish this suffering. And after this, something happened with me. And after this, I just met the person. Maybe you have a question more. I can share the story how I met the person who helped me to know about Krishna.
So I am not much interested on that area anyway. This is the learning which I want to send to the people in society through my channel. Whatever, I think this is the worst situation in anyone's life when you think about suicide and you come out from that situations, and this Krishna conscious help you to be strong, control your emotions, because as you said, pointed very rightly, because when a person commits suicide, the high emotions on that moment gives you, and you, it's a few seconds you decide and you do commit suicide. So lot of this thing is happening. And even in my another interview with Sadhvi Bhagwati, if you know, she is in Rishikesh from USA, and she was suffering almost similar kind of situation in her life, and today she is a leading spiritual leader in the globe. She is living now in India from last 20 years now, 25 years now, and almost similar situation she was facing. Almost, she said, I was almost finished my life that time, and from there she moved, and this spiritual awareness take her out, and today she is great. And even I am seeing the happiness in your face, the energy which is coming from your face today, and knowing that time of your life is really a learning. And that is the things which, and this story, it's not a story, it's a kind of your thought which you given. It give those people motivate, those who are really uh, in problem in their real life. And that is the Svetlana ji, that is the reason I do this session with practical things to tell people, and let them motivate. Don't get that much situation in your life, because you can control. The only thing you need to learn how to control. So it
yes,
is
we can learn some experience from other people. It's not necessary to do in every steps your own mistakes. We can learn from other people also.
Absolutely.
And what is it about suicide? I want to add this topic. The most of people, they don't have a knowledge what is the meaning of suicide. It's not like just a sin in any religion. It's not only sin. That if we will go deep to scriptures, there is a written, if you finish your life like a suicide, if you will finish it before your natural death, you will be like a host in this world until your real age, which is written in your destiny, which you must live this world. Can you imagine? Means you're not finishing your suffer. You just continue suffer, but without physically body.
Absolutely. Your spirit will move around in this world. Until then, you are
yes. You will be like in a body of horse, and you will be still suffer, because mental body is still with you. That all the emotion, all these feelings, it will be still in you. Just physically body not with you, and you're not able to practice. You're not able to do anything. but you will suffer this year till the end of your life still in this world.
Ah.
If I would knew these things, maybe who knows, maybe I would never think about it.
Ah.
But after this, when I knew about this, I just share with everyone who is saying me, I want to finish my life, I want to do suicide. Okay, just do, suffer more.
Yeah.
Just it will not help you.
Yeah. So it is really great actually, and it's a great learning, and that is the reason motivates me to interact with people. Actually, you like people so that more people can benefit it, because you are the live example for people which will see my this blog later and see this interview, and they will really help them. Great. And moving to my next, I am taking your too much time, but I will publish this interview in two part. So if you spare little bit more time, I have few questions more, so we will try to finish it a little faster. So my next question is, when you become Krishna conscious, now your attire got changed, you are wearing sari and all, which is western word, is next to next to the different word, and keeping this tilak, and wearing these Indian attire and that stuff, how people looks at you, your relative, are they supportive to you what you are doing it, or they have a different prospect what you are doing it, to looking at you, your friend, your close friend in your society? And in India it is very common, people will not see you in differently, because it's in culture, in our Indian culture. We from childhood we are doing worship, that is a different story. The way we are doing, maybe that is not correct, but still you will see the temple at every Indian's home. At least the in Hindu community you will see that Sanatan families, so from childhood you will see the temple, people do some worship at home, and also is not I mean the difficult. But in Western world, looking at this attire, what was the perspective of your close friend, family? Are they supportive to you, or they give you the different uh, perspective, to see you the different perspective?
You know, of course, in Russia, I'm looking very strange for many people. Like this type of dressing, it's not typical for Russia.
Yeah.
Especially these people don't understand what is this. And but you know, actually, most of people, their reaction is positive. Especially if they see that we are just going to the street, we just do Harinam, we chant holy name of Krishna, we just do kirtan outside. And most of people, they say like, we feel a very positive energy from all of you, and we see you always looking like very bright, that you're just always, you all smile, you're looking all beautiful. Of course, people like it. Most of people like it.
Absolutely.
Yes, if I would say about my relatives, of course, first time for them was shock. Oh, she become an Indian. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes, because association with this, just like, oh, she become an Indian. Yes, and of course, my parents was afraid, but not because of Indian. It's not like this. Just because of Russia have a bad reputation for Krishna consciousness. Because if you remember, all these things started in a Soviet Union time, when religion was stopped and everyone was, you know, like. Everyone who if police will see you distribute some religion things, they'll just put you to jail immediately. And that was a very difficult time. And from that time, you know, Krishna consciousness have a strange reputation, because for people was like something strange to see the people who is wearing khodi and like a sari. At that time, there was no good sari, you know, they're using like a curtain for sari. Yes. And they use it, and they use for khodi, they use bad shit. In that time. Yes, and of course my parents, they were scared that I'm just going some wrong way. I'm just, you know, in Russia, we have this like Krishna consciousness is like a sect. They just brainwashed people, and just yes, they following something strange which we cannot understand. But slowly, you know, the more people contact with this, the more people understand, oh, the Hare Krishna people, they're friendly. Even if we are not followers, still we just look positive, and they like to listen our lectures, because we have a lot of lectors in Russia who speak like about psychology, but from Vedic culture, and people really love it. People pay the money for visit this type of lecture. And it's very popular now in Russia, Vedic culture. And my parents, especially my mom, she was scared that first that I becoming vegetarian, I will die without meat, and how it's possible to survive with this. Because the understanding of Russian people that vegetarian eat like this behind me, like grass only. Yes, they don't have understanding that we are eat normal food and nobody die. But millions of millions of people in India, nobody died.
Absolutely.
Yes, but in Russia, it's like, you know, like a very limited mind about this. And people don't know what is exactly is vegetarian.
Absolutely.
And second thing, my mom was scared, like, oh, I will leave my job, I will leave my family, I will just go to the ashram or temple and I will live there. And I said here, no, who is saying this, that I will not follow my duty? No, still I will do everything what I did before, but now I have a meaning of my life. And from the start, yes, my mom was not much respect my way, and they just had some, you know, sarcastic jokes, especially my dad. But from now, you cannot imagine. I'm just coming to, because my parents still they living in village, and if I come into them, they did not cook meat in front of me, because my mom started to respect my feelings. She said, I know this smell is very terrible for you. She said, I cannot cook in front of you. And they started to eat my prasadam. When I go to village, you know, in that time only I cook, everyone is eat prasadam.
Great. So this is basically a great learning from you, Svetlana ji. Actually, that's how 10 years ago or 15 years ago, it was little different viewpoint towards even ISKCON or the Krishna conscious or the spiritual people, those who are in Western world. But I have seen, even I am living from last 8 years in Norway, right? It's almost similar culture, right? European culture. So I have seen lot of now respect towards our Vedic culture, towards spiritual awareness. People are started looking at that, and even the Krishna conscious people, those who are here, I have done that interview is there. Who leads the ISKCON activities here, and Sanatani Devi ji, and I have seen people lot of respect now. And second, after have you seen these 2-3 disaster what happened in the world? First is the corona disaster, right? Which nobody, those people in material life like US and even Russia and even any other big country, those who are financially very strong, they feel that we have money and we can do anything, nothing can harm us. But this corona phase tells to the people, if you are not in your basics, you will be in trouble, whatever money you have, whatever material things you have, right?
Yes,
and
true.
if you've seen what corona people saved, you look at the example of India, it's a 1 point, now it's a 1.4 billion almost, the population in India, right? And still if you compare the disaster happen in India, that was very hardly few percent what happened in the smaller countries in terms of population ratio, right? And the reason being because in India people understand, and if you see the food, people understand why turmeric is required to eat, why your ginger garlic is to eat, is the benefit, right? Those people habitually eat those kind of food, their immunity power of body got increased, and that saved them. No medicine saved them, but that saved them, because that stamina, that immune of your system save you life. And even I have seen in Norway, these kind of spices which comes from India, like turmeric and ginger and paprika and clove, these kind of people start consuming that in their either in a form of drink like a black tea, or either in
Mhm.
start consuming them into their daily food. So that's how basically you said. And even that small changes what you said about your parents, now at least when you are there, they stop, they don't cook the meat, and they follow what you cook. And I 100% believe that they like this food if they start, because if you
Yes, we love
uh,
we love the way how we cook
right.
it.
And that is, there are a lot of big debate otherwise in this, because we know that why sattvic food what you eat now is benefit you, your thought process, your everything in your life, how that benefited. That is a big topic, we will discuss sometime on that particular topic. But in quick question, now you cook some Indian foods, you know that how to cook some Indian foods.
Yes, not everything is like, most of Indian, they eat rice daily basic, especially here in Bengali,
Yeah.
West Bengali, they every day they eat rice. I cannot eat rice every day. It's not my food. But I know how to cook rice with dal. I know how to cook pakoras, tomato paneer, you know, sabji. Of course, I know how to cook all of these things. Yes, something I cook, but I cook in some specific way, Indian Russian way.
Yeah.
because
But it is
because we cannot eat so much spices.
yeah, of course.
So
Yes.
our digestion just stop.
Yeah. More spices is not good, but yes, Indian traditional food will have more spices into it. But sometime for
Mm.
occasionally to eating those food is good for health, but not in a long run. Yes. So good that you start cooking Indian foods as well. Great. So moving to next, because time is going now. I'm going quickly on the spirituality part. How do you define the spirituality for a common man?
Can you say again another way?
Yeah. Okay. So how you define the spirituality for a
Mhm.
common man? Forget about the
Mhm.
gurus tells about, and what this is associated with in a religion term. If you leave that part
Mhm.
away, how do you define for a common man like me, if I am not in a devotion path, then how that spirituality matters for me?
Mhm. As you know, I have a very huge account with a lot of followers,
Yeah.
and most of people just always ask me some questions.
Yeah.
And if the person is start to ask the questions, it means he already want to know something, some another way, which I
Yeah.
mean he cannot find the way how,
Yeah.
where to go.
Yeah.
And is I cannot see the how to say it, the one way for all the person, because we are all different and we are all personality, and it's like a personal way for each of person.
Hmm.
And I talk personally with people who is answering me question,
Hmm.
but I cannot see in one way that all people is suffer and they are looking for the questions.
Hmm.
And I'm giving you guarantee that all the questions which we have is all the questions in Bhagavad Gita, all the answers
Absolutely.
on these questions.
Yeah.
Because if we are looking the higher way of our solution, as Srila Prabhupada said, like we cannot solve the material problem by material way. We can solve the material problem only spiritual way. This really will be solution. But if we're trying to solve it like the way which we created this, it's not working.
Yeah.
And this is what people must look. Oh, he studied in International School of ISKCON.
Oh.
Actually, this school has a diploma of Cambridge School.
Yeah.
They study this program, and so it's
Okay.
mix of Cambridge education and Vedic.
Yeah.
They have some subject, some spiritual subject, and they have some how to say it? Как сказать, музыкальные. They just learn how to how to play on different instruments like harmonium, mridanga, karatalas. They just learn how to sing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Understand. Okay. Well, so we were talking about uh, uh, now going to the next question. Anyway, quickly, I will not take much time now. Uh, you visited India and you are from the Russia. So, what difference you see in the society towards the spiritual awareness or either this Krishna conscious devotions and that side of things? How do you look at?
Means what is difference between
Yeah, how the spiritual awareness in India as compared to
mhm,
Western, and
mhm.
uh, what is your views actually about the common people in Indian society? How they are they really understand spiritual things, or it's on a surface, or it's in a depth? So that how you
Mhm.
see the Indian society from a spiritual awareness point of view?
Yes, of course. In India, it's still spirituality still saved. Saved. I mean, most of houses they still have a deities. They still worship. They still follow some culture. They still, even maybe they do something wrong. Still, somewhere inside they know, oh, there is a God.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
maybe something come in. I mean, something like some small.
yeah,
Maybe some people, of course, they already forget. Even I know this type of families, this type of, there is already two generations. They already don't follow anything. They don't know what is God.
yeah,
I was surprised that
yeah.
so many people in India, they even don't know who is a Krishna. I said, how it possible? I mean, they know it's somebody, but I mean, they don't know anything. I mean, from scriptures, from some stories, and that is a God, and something about Krishna consciousness. Many people they don't know,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm getting every day. I'm getting the messages from people how to follow Krishna consciousness. Most of people never practice in their life, and I'm from first time when I came to India, I have seen that yes, India is more spiritual than Russia. Yes, I could say like this because in Russia, maybe most of people they follow religion, but
Hmm.
it's like rituals.
Hmm.
Most of people they just like rituals.
Hmm.
But what is inside your heart? What is about your qualities? What is about joyful of your life? Do you feel happiness? This is indicator of happiness.
Yeah.
If you just feel joyful, if you just feel satisfaction in your life, if you just enjoying simple life, you are not running for too much too much material things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and for the first time, I was thinking like that so much spirituality here. But now when I started to live here, when I have a huge followers, I see really the new generation. They really suffering a lot from depression. It's
Yeah.
really my experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
many teenagers and young boys, girls, they texting me.
Yeah.
We don't have a meaning of life. We're just studying,
Yeah.
nothing more,
Yeah. Yeah.
and and the parents just force their children. I'm not saying it's a not good idea to study,
Yeah.
but I mean, when you in your life is only studying, what's the point?
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
when we see something like a joyful life, because why I share always our kirtan, our harinam?
Yeah.
Yes, because it's a happiness.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just want to share this. I just want to show people. It's
Yeah.
not like 24 hours just go for kirtan and not
Yeah.
study. No,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
at least one time in a week you can go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even it is not in your city temple or some devotees. Okay, go to neighbor city. You can do.
Yeah, absolutely. So good. Actually, I follow you. Actually, that's how I came to know about your personality, about your what you are doing in this
Mhm.
area, because I follow you in Instagram. You have a very good following, and I have seen your many lives also, which you give, and you ask people questions. And even last time you were, if I'm not wrong, you only ask about the why uh, Indian man looking the foreign women. I think you posted
Yes,
one question, right? And then you given that detail, if I'm not wrong. uh,
yes, yes.
yeah. So that kind of things you are doing, and it is a great. So that's what basically these social media platforms should be, where actually, because otherwise you see all social media platform, you will see the lot of nonsense things in which people follow. People will not follow the
Yes.
people those who spreading positivity, happiness, and these kind of things. People follow basically those who are sending them, giving some little pleasure for a moment, whether it is related to sexual things, whether it is related to any those kind of sort of things. But people very less associated with these kind of forums or these kind of people who
Mm-hmm.
are in social media. So that is one thing I appreciate you do, that John. And I would suggest you create more awareness sessions and awareness things. People will associate it, and people need, as you said correctly about what how you looks at in India, because people are like that. Because they more focus on academics, academic
Mm-hmm.
in the book is knowledge. Either they are looking at aiming any job, any something. I understand that job is required, money is required to survive in this world, but apart from that, your happiness and peace, that is also important, which is
Mm-hmm.
you have
Yes.
rightly highlighted, and I appreciate that. So my next question quickly to you, I will not take much time. You are in India, you are participating in ISKCON and other activities. Do you have any other plan for your future to this is one thing what you are doing it, I am fine. I think that is okay, good, you are connecting people following, but you have any other plan to create some kind of a forum or something where the real counseling can be done to the people? And
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Actually, I already had some experience in Russia. I organized some retreat for new people, not for devotees, just new people.
Ah,
There was some retreat for 3 days, and they just people just come in, and there was a peaceful place outside of city,
hmm,
and we just had an amazing kirtan for 3 days. We just explained them about Vedic culture. We just there was also, it's like something how you can attract people. Like
yeah,
I will teach before I said like advertisement, like I will teach you how to cook a very nice vegetarian food.
yeah, yeah,
Also show them some example of simple food, but
yeah,
which is really tasty
yeah,
for everyone. Doesn't matter you eat meat or not. It
yeah,
was really very tasty, and so many people was very happy.
yeah,
And can you imagine? Few people, they never ever listen kirtan in their life. They never seen Hare Krishna people. They never. Joined this type of how to say it, retreat where they can touch this spiritual energy.
yeah,
And in the start, people come into this retreat like this.
yeah.
They completely, they close. They don't want to contact. We
Yeah.
are just no. We just came, but we will sit here in corner. Don't touch us. They was not able. It's my habit to hug people,
Yeah,
but when I wanted to hug them, they just like I said, okay, I'm not touching.
yeah, yeah,
But next day, the most people completely changed it. They became very open. They became, more friendly.
yeah,
They started to talk with our people.
yeah.
On the third day, everyone was singing Hare Krishna. Everyone, we wanted to hide it that we are Hare Krishna. Just we wanted. It's like something like we're just showing Vedic culture, something like this.
Yeah,
But in the last day, they joined it to our Mangala Arati. They joined it to many things which we do
yeah,
in usual life,
yeah,
and it was really successful even in India. In
yeah,
the end of this retreat, people share it like we never touch this type of peaceful energy. We want to continue,
yeah,
and most of them they just said like said we don't know how to do it in our life.
yeah,
And this the same thing I want to do in India,
yeah,
because so many people text me that they don't have peace in their they always working and studying, and
yeah,
they don't have a place where to go even for this.
yeah,
And when they said we touch your like some energy through your videos, they said we want to touch it. But here is also sometimes difficult to be in peaceful places, because here is if it is a festival time, so many people coming from outside. It is so crowded sometimes.
True.
And I want to organize this type of retreat in a peaceful time, not festival time. That it is the first thing. And the second thing, it is a time in time for it will be time for not time, place for living in a peaceful place first, and second, people will get spiritual experience for a few days, and they will not how to say it, we will be in touch in spiritual energy few days, not only one, because for one day it's not give you anything, but if you will touch this few days, it will really put the seeds inside your heart, and slowly it will grow. This is just my plan.
Great. And I would appreciate that, because that is required, and that is very necessary, not only in India, even in Western world. And that exactly, that same direction what you thinking, I'm doing the same. This forum is about that, where I am trying to, whatever people are connecting, whatever the following we have, but is still, if it is I would say, if a very less amount of people inspired, what we give them a message, it will be a great thing, right? If everybody do this small efforts, I think this world become beautiful, peaceful,
Yes,
and
true.
people will be happy. So everybody should work this side, and I will be happy to associate with you if you need any kind of those associations and that kind of forums where we can join on live, and we can spread more goodness to the people. So I will always be happy. And last question, this is my last question to you, is if you want to give any message which you learned from the Gita, which is benefit can benefit to the people in their day-to-day life. If any two things you want to tell to my viewers, it will be great.
One thing I want to say, but this is the first thing which really gave me peace in my heart.
Yeah.
That in usually life we are just all do mistakes, and sometimes many people, they started to blame themselves, they started to press themselves, and we think, oh, we must be perfect. And many people all the life we're trying to be perfect, but it's written in Bhagavad Gita, all the unconditional soul they do mistake. They just, it's like it's difficult for me to say many things in English, and Russian will be more easy for me. But this is like our quality of unconditional soul. We always will do mistake, and it's like only Krishna is perfect. Otherwise, if you are perfect, you are God. If you don't do any mistake. This is the one thing which has really helped me in my life. Finally, I accepted my right to do mistakes. And I realized that only by mistakes we become a better version of myself. This is the first thing which, and second thing, like that is also gave me peace, which I was looking from my childhood, that I'm eternal soul. I will never die. It's like good news.
Absolutely.
Only my body will finish this life, but I will never die. And this is like what was disturbing my mind from my childhood. Why I will die, but my life is finished? How is it? But actually, it's just only for a very short time, and somebody will get new body, somebody will go to spiritual world, but our soul is eternal, and our relationship with God is also eternal. That's why we are just trying to follow spiritual practice, that because when we will get this experience, we will remember, I'm eternal soul, I'm not this body. If you realize this, your life becoming more easy. I'm just giving you guarantee. Because if I feel I'm body, I'm suffer too much.
Great. So that's it from today. And viewers, let me summarize. This discussion is going to be in two part of video, because I don't want to make it a longer video. I will make it in two parts. And let me summarize very quick pointers what I discussed with Svetlana ji, which I get very few discussions in my channel, these kind of tips and these kind of good things. First thing is, she said, following spiritual path or devotions gives you happiness and peace in your life. That is the ultimate goal for everyone, even for me. I follow, I not follow, that is a different story, but ultimately everyone look for a happiness and peace in his life. That is the ultimate goal. That is one thing. Second, when you suffer in your life, you are suffering in your life, the Krishna conscious path or spiritual path will save you, will give you strength to do better and come out of that suffering. That is the second learning from Svetlana ji. Third thing, what Svetlana ji said, which I like it, that is, you need in your life some friends which are unconditional. Those don't judge you for your what you are doing, because maximum people judge each other, right? We pass our judgment for anybody easily. But you need some friends, some people, that could be your relative, that could be your spouses, your husband, your wife, that could be your daughter, son, or anybody. But you need some people, those who don't pass the judgment, and they are unconditional relationship with you. So these are the key things which I am taking, Svetlana ji, from your discussion, and it is really a great discussion. Once again, thank you so much for giving me this time and opportunity. And in future also we will have some connect, and we will discuss now in future, if your time permits, if something will we will decide, we will get into a specific topic and we will discuss, because viewers would like to hear you more in my channel. So we'll plan some time. So once again, Hare Krishna, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so
All
much.
glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you. Thank you.